across the nifty 50.
Connecticut, the Constitution State.
Nevada, the Silver State.
Louisiana, the Pelican State.
Minnesota, land of 10,000 lakes.
Pennsylvania, the Keystone State.
Oregon, the Beaver State.
New Hampshire, the Granite State. Texas, the Lone Star State. Arizona, the Grand Canyon State. Indiana, the Hoosier State. Montana, Big Sky Country. Kansas, Sunflower State.
Idaho, the Gem State.
Maryland, Old Line State.
Kentucky, the Bluegrass State.
West Virginia, the Mountain State.
New Hampshire is a New England state. There are 6 New England states. My state is New Hampshire. Its capital is Concord. The purple finch is New Hampshire's state bird. The purple lilac is New Hampshire's state flower. Uncle Sam helped the U.S. Army. His initials are U.S. Amos Stuck was born in New Hampshire. A friend of his was Abraham Lincoln. Together they made a Republican Party. Have you heard of Mary Had a Little Lamb? Well, Sarah Josephina wrote the poem. Have you ever heard of the poet Robert Frost? Well, he was born in New Hampshire. He wrote many poems. New Hampshire was the 9th state to sign the Declaration of Independence.
Connecticut is a New England state. There are 6 New England states. My state is Connecticut. Its capital is Hartford. The state bird of Connecticut is the American robin. Connecticut's state flower is the mountain laurel. Nathan Hale is Connecticut's state hero. He was a spy in the Revolutionary War. He was sent behind enemy lines to retrieve information. Connecticut's state ship is the USS Nautilus. It is the first nuclear-powered submarine in the world. The sperm whale is Connecticut's state animal. It is very aggressive, so whalers, watch out! The praying mantis is Connecticut's state insect. It is a carnivore. A carnivore is a living thing that only eats meat. The Capitol Building. Hartford is Connecticut's capital city.
Pennsylvania is a Middle Atlantic state. There are 5 Middle Atlantic states. My state is Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's capital is Harrisburg. The state bird of Pennsylvania is the ruffed grouse. The state flower of Pennsylvania is the mountain laurel. The state dog of Pennsylvania is the Great Dane. Philadelphia was the first capital in the United States. The city of Philadelphia is now known as the City of Brotherly Love. That is why one of the landmarks is the love sign. The Hershey candy bar was invented in 1894 by Milton Snavely Hershey. His attempt before he made the Hershey bar was he had a caramel and taffy company. Bethlehem Steel was the second largest steel company in the United States. Before they made steel, it was iron. In 1893, it was the first ever time they made steel.
Maryland is a Middle Atlantic state. There are 4 Middle Atlantic states.
You walk into the first day of school. The teacher says, "Hi, Doc."
My state is Maryland. The capital of Maryland is Annapolis. Maryland state bird is the Baltimore Oriole. Maryland state flower is the black-eyed Susan. Francis Scott Key wrote the national anthem after the War of 1812. The war was between America and the British on September 13th to 14th in 1812. Maryland state crustacean is the blue crab. It can be turned into Maryland's most famous meal, blue crab cakes. Blue crab cakes are in a lot of restaurants in Baltimore and a lot of other cities because they're so famous in Maryland. Maryland state beverage is milk. Milk goes very good with Maryland state cookie, the chocolate chip cookie.
West Virginia is the southeast state. There are 12 southeast states. My state is West Virginia. Its capital is Charleston. The West Virginia state bird is the cardinal. The West Virginia state flower is the rhododendron. Charleston is the biggest city in West Virginia. The original capital of West Virginia wasn't Charleston. It was Wheeling, in the northern part of West Virginia. Charleston became the capital of West Virginia in 1885. The Golden Delicious is an apple. It is the West Virginia state fruit. The gold delicious is not exactly gold. It is kind of yellow. The Allegheny Mountains are in the Appalachian chain. These mountains are really popular in West Virginia. The Allegheny Mountains are the tallest mountains in West Virginia. They are located in the Valley region part of West Virginia. They are very close to Spruce Knob, which is the highest point in West Virginia.
Kentucky is a southeast state. There are 12 southeast states. My state is Kentucky. The capital of Kentucky is Frankfort. Kentucky's state bird is the cardinal. Kentucky's state flower is the goldenrod. The Kentucky state fish is the Kentucky spotted bass. Kentucky state gemstone is the freshwater pearl. Kentucky state tree is the tulip poplar. Kentucky state animal is the squirrel. Kentucky state beverage is milk. Kentucky state cookie is the sugar cookie. Jockeys from around the world come to Churchill Downs, Kentucky to race in the Kentucky Derby. The winner of the race gets a huge string of roses when they win. It is a great honor. They call it Run for the Roses. Kentucky Fried Chicken was founded in 1930 by a man named Carl Harlan Sanders. He first opened KFC in a gas station in Kentucky with a menu of mashed potatoes and, of course, fried chicken. When the restaurant kept getting crowded, he opened another one across the street. Now, there are KFC restaurants in over 80 places.
Louisiana is a southeast state. There are 12 southeast states. My state is Louisiana. Louisiana's state capital is Baton Rouge. Louisiana's state flower is Mongolia. Louisiana's state bird is the pelican. Fais dodo. Fais dodo is a country dance in Louisiana. In French, fais dodo means go to sleep. King cake. Every year on January 6th, Louisiana children celebrate King's Day. King's Day is when the three kings visit baby Jesus in the stable in Bethlehem. Beignets. Beignets are sugar donuts without a hole in the middle. Beignets are sold in the largest city, New Orleans, at French markets and coffee shops. Rosedown. Rosedown is one of the beautiful plantations. Its major crop was cotton. In Franceville, Rosedown was built in 1835 by Daniel and Martha Turnbull. Mardi Gras. In New Orleans, Mardi Gras is the biggest festival. Mardi Gras is held on Shrove Tuesday before Ash Wednesday.
Indiana is a Great Lakes state. There are 6 Great Lakes states in the Midwest. My state is Indiana. Its capital is Indianapolis. Indiana's state bird is the cardinal. Indiana's state flower is the peony. Indiana dunes are near Lake Michigan. The dunes cover 15,000 acres of land. The Indiana dunes were made by glaciers. Every year they move 4 or 5 inches closer to Lake Michigan. The oldest dune is Mount Baldy. It is 123 feet high. The dunes change when the Midwest winds blow. The dunes glisten from the waters that washes up on the dunes. Limestone is Indiana's state zone. Indiana has a large deposit of limestone. Many famous buildings are made of Indiana limestone. They call the Indianapolis 500 its name because the racers go around the track 200 times, which equals 500 miles. The first Indianapolis 500 was in 1911. The Wabash River comes 512 acres of land and makes the western border of Indiana. The Wabash River is in Indiana's state zone.
Minnesota is a Great Lakes state. There are 6 Great Lakes states. My state is Minnesota. Its capital is St. Paul. Minnesota's state bird is the common loon. It is black and white. The state flower of Minnesota is the pink and white lady slipper. It is illegal to pick. The moose is Minnesota's largest animal. It can grow up to 6.5 feet tall to the shoulder. Minnesota is called Land of 10,000 Lakes, but it actually has 11,842 lakes. Minnesota and North Dakota together produced more than 550,000 acres of sugar beets in 1 year. Mayo Clinic is a hospital that was started by pioneer Dr. William Worrell Mayo. He was an early settler who settled in Rochester, Minnesota, and had a love for medical things.
Kansas is a Great Plains state. There are 11 Great Plains states. My state is Kansas. Its capital is Topeka. Kansas's state flower is the sunflower. The state bird of Kansas is the western meadowlark. The state insect of Kansas is the honeybee. The bear tiger salamander is the state amphibian of Kansas. Kansas's state reptile is the horned box turtle. Amelia Earhart was born in 1897 in Ashington. She was the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean in 1932. She disappeared trying to be the first person to fly around the world. The first Pizza Hut was in Wichita, Kansas, and it is still in business today. It was founded by Dan and Frank Carney in 1958. They are the world's largest user of cheese and use 1 million pounds of cheese in an average summer. The football fans for the Kansas City Chiefs set a world record for the loudest cheer recently on October 13, 2013. It reached 137.5 decibels, beating the previous record of 136.6 decibels.
Idaho is a Rocky Mountain state. There are 6 Rocky Mountain states. State is Idaho. My capital is Boise. Idaho's state flower is the saguina. Idaho's state bird is the mountain bluebird. In Idaho, there are 20 acres of national forests. Clearwater National Forest is mostly made out of water. Brookfoot, Idaho grows the most potatoes in the world. Idaho is mostly known for its potatoes. Sacagawea was born in Salmon, Idaho. She got taken away when she was only 12 years old.
Montana is a Rocky Mountain state. There are 6 Rocky Mountain states. This is Montana. Its capital is Helena. Montana's state bird is the western meadowlark. Montana's state flower is the bitterroot. One of Montana's national monuments is Pompey's Pillar. It is a 200-foot-high stone pillar which Clark, from Lewis and Clark, carved his name on. Pompey's Pillar was named after Sacagawea's son, Baptist. The Anaconda Copper Company was the biggest copper company by the 1880s. The smelter's chimney was made with 2.5 million special bricks. It is 585 feet high. Shep was a very loyal dog. Shep's owner died and the owner's body was shipped east. Shep then searched every train looking for his owner. He would wait through heat and snow. Shep died when he fell on the train track and died in 1942. The Battle of the Little Bighorn took place on June 25, 1876. It was along the Little Bighorn River. It was the Army's 7th Cavalry, commanded by George Armstrong Custer, against a large force of Sioux and Northern Cheyenne warriors. The Indians won. The Battle of the Little Bighorn National Monument honors both the people from the Army and the Native Americans that fought in the Battle of the Little Bighorn. George Armstrong Custer is right here. And Sitting Bull, the leader of the Native Americans, is right here.
Nevada is a Rocky Mountain state. There are 6 Rocky Mountain states. My state is Nevada. Nevada's capital is Carson City. Nevada's state bird is the mountain bluebird.
Nevada's state flower is the sagebrush.
Nevada's state gemstone is the black fire opal. They adopted the stone to be their state stone May 27, 1987. It takes like 10 million years to form a fiery reddish black opal. Nevada's college football team is the Nevada Wolfpack. The college that has that football team is the University of Nevada in Reno, Nevada. This is a sign in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is a famous sign. In movies and episodes, they use it a lot. It is the sign that welcomes you to Las Vegas, Nevada.
Arizona is a southwest state. There are 4 southwest states. My state is Arizona. Its capital is Phoenix. Arizona's state bird is the cactus wren. Arizona's state flower is the blossom of the saguaro cactus. Arizona's state fossil is petrified wood. Arizona's state fish is the Apache trout. The Grand Canyon is carved by the Colorado River and is a mile deep in some places. The Grand Canyon attracts thousands of tourists each year. The saguaro cactus can grow to be 65 feet tall, weigh 8 tons, and live 200 years. Meteor Crater was used to train people going on Apollo missions because the crater's core surface is like the moon.
My state is Texas. Its capital is Austin. Texas is a southwest state. There are 4 southwest states. Texas's state bird is the mockingbird. The bluebonnet is Texas's state flower. Dr. Pepper was invented in 1885 in Waco, Texas, in a drugstore by a pharmacist. The Alamo was not made for war. It was a Spanish hideout for soldiers and a church for villagers. The buck wagon was invented after the Civil War for people moving to Texas. People were moving to Texas because that was where most of the beef in America was coming from.
My state is Oregon. Oregon is in the northwest corner of the United States. My state is Oregon. Oregon's capital is Salem. Salem is in the northwest corner of Oregon. My state bird is the western meadowlark. My state flower is the Oregon grape. My state animal is the beaver, and my state gem is the Oregon sunstone. Facts about Nike. Nike is headquartered in Oregon. These are Nike's newest shoes. They are called Nike Free. This is one of Nike's oldest shoes. Nike's old name is Blue Ribbon Sports. Facts about the USS Oregon BB-3. The USS Oregon BB-3 was an Indiana-class battleship. It fought in the Spanish-American War. This is called a turret gun. It was very helpful for the USS Oregon BB-3. This is one of the men of the USS Oregon BB-3. They're very strong. Oregon sports. The Oregon State Beavers are an amazing NCAA sport team for Oregon. The Oregon Ducks are a great NCAA football team and baseball team. The Portland Trail Blazers are a great NBA basketball team.
Penelope Winterbottom.
Jake Abdi.
Caleb Park.
Garrett Schmuller.
Ryan Burns.
Sejal Patel.
Elizabeth Bonner.
Zachary Ralph.
Olivia Taylor.
Max Watsky.
Matthew Parrish.
Peter Romero.
Mike McDonald.
Salaman.
Lucas Shaw.
Stephanie Tikas.